hiding all your life from yourself, baby. With our rule, we can move far away for you now, lady. We still have a lot of way to go. Try to remember that in this way together, we still have a lot of time to do. Just remember that we won't be forever.
True. just then a policeman stepped up to me as the said these hey would be cat. It's like, oh, get in line, get in line. Well, you know, they asked us to stay for tea and have some fun. Oh, baby. Well, there's a light in your on the barroom floor, drowning your laughter and dead to the core. There's a dragon with matches that's loose on the town. Take a whole pail of water just to cool him down. Well, fire, fire on the mountain. 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 Almost a place, still you don't feel the heat. It takes all you got just to stay on the beat. You say it's a living, we all gotta eat. But you're here alone, there's no one to compete. If mercy's in business, I wish it for you. More than just ashes when your dreams come true. Fire, fire on the mountain. 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 Long distance runner, what you holding out for? Caught in slow motion in a dash to the door. The flame from your stage has now spread to the floor. You gave all you had, why you wanna give more? The more that you give, the more it will take. To the thin line beyond which you really can't fake. Yeah. Fire, fire on the mountain. Fire, fire on the mountain.
Trucking, got my chips cashed in. Keep trucking like the doodah man. Together, more or less in line. Just keep trucking on.
Arrows of neon and flashing marquees out on Main Street. Chicago, New York, Detroit, and it's all on the same street. A typical city involved in a typical daydream. Hang it up and see what tomorrow brings.
Dallas, got a soft machine. Houston, too close to New Orleans. New York, got the ways and means and just won't let you be.
Most of the cats that you meet on the street speak of true love. Most of the time they're sitting and crying at home. One of these days they know they gotta get going. Out of the door and down to the street all alone.
Trucking like the doodah man once told me, you got to pay your hand. Sometimes the cards ain't worth a dime if you don't lay 'em down. Sometimes the light's all shining on me. Other times I can barely see.
staring out of the hotel window. Got a tip they're gonna kick the door in again. I'd like to get some sleep before I travel, but if you got a warrant, I guess you're gonna come in.
Busted down on Bourbon Street, set up like a bowling pin, knocked down against the
teach you all I can. Say I know a little, Lord, I know a little about it. I know a little, I know a little about it. I know a little about love, baby, I guess the rest. Well, I know a little about love, baby, I want your best.
My motor Yes, I'm busted, disgusted. This is my darkest day. Oh, you talk about the low down blues, I've got 'em. I do believe I need rock bottom. Well, yes, I've hit rock bottom. Oh, I've hit rock bottom. Got no money, it ain't funny. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, baby, baby. Well,
stealing watermelons off the vine. So much fun I do it all the time. Just like that little old woman of mine. Sweet and juicy, Lord, oh so fine. Lord of mercy, that's a fine little woman. Oh Well, Farmer Brown caught me one dark night, stealing his melons by the mellow moonlight. He cocked his shotgun, his old dog bit me. Ought to heard me holler when that rock salt hit me. Ow! What'd you do that for? I'm coming over, baby, to sing you my song. I swear that it ain't gonna take very long. I'm wild about that something you got. I got to get it while it's good and hot. Hot dog, this is too hot to hold. I'm strutting my stuff, y'all. 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 You all might like to hustle and do the bump or any dance you want. When I get out on the floor, I just wanna strut my stuff. Got a pretty mama in Atlanta, ain't nothing but a Georgia peach. Strutted the stuff all the way down to West Palm Beach. I'm strutting my stuff, y'all.
Every day, every night, y'all.
I'm strutting my stuff, y'all.
Watch me work out one time, people.
I'm strutting my stuff, y'all.
Hey, hey, hey.
I'm strutting my stuff,
There are
y'all.
4 reasons why independent workers should check out Strut. Number 1, Strut 'cause that minus is too low to see. Yeah. Hey. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing, and I'm not stuffing. Believe you me. Don't you remember I told you?
Oh, baby, do it, baby.
Dancing, dancing, dancing.
She's a dancing
Machine.
Oh, baby, move it, baby. Automatic, systematic, full of color, self-contained. Tuned and channeled to your vibes. Captivating, stimulating. She's such a sexy lady. Filled with space, safe design.
She's moving, she's grooving, dancing until the music stops now. Yeah.
Rhythmatic, acrobatic. She's a dynamite attraction. At the top of a coin, she goes live. Yeah, she knows what she's doing. She's super bad now. She's here to really blow your mind.
Dancing, dancing, dancing.
She's a dancing
Oh, baby, do it, baby.
Dancing, dancing, dancing.
She's a dancing
Oh, baby, move it, baby.
She's a dance, 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 dancing machine. Watch her get down as you do her thing right on the scene. She's a dance, 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 dancing machine. Watch her get down. Who's that lady? Who's that lady? Beautiful lady, lady. Who's that lady? Lovely lady. Who's that lady? Real fine lady. Who's that lady? Hear me calling out to you, 'cause that's all that I can do. Your eyes tell me to pursue, but you say look, yeah, but don't touch, baby. No, 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 don't touch. Who's that lady? Who's that lady? Sexy lady. Who's that lady? Beautiful lady. Who's that lady? Real fine lady. Who's that lady? I would dance upon a string, any gift she'd wanna bring. I would give her anything if she would just do what I say. Come around my way, baby. Shine my way. Who's that lady? Who's that lady? Beautiful lady. Who's that lady? Lovely lady. Who's that lady? Real, real fine lady. I would love to take her home, but her heart is made of stone. Gotta keep on keeping on. Don't she'll do me wrong.
A piece of yours, a piece of mine. A piece of mine, one nation, under a groove.
This is a world premiere. This is a world premiere.
I done been through a whole lot.
trial, tribulation, but I know God. Satan wanna put me in a bow tie. Pray that the holy water don't go dry, yeah, yeah. As I look around me, so many motherfuckers wanna down me, but ain't no me gon' never drown me. In front of a dirty double mirror, they found me, and I love myself.
The world is a ghetto with big guns and dick inside.
I love myself,
But they can do what they want whenever they want, I don't mind.
I love myself,
He said I gotta get up, life is more than suicide.
I love myself.
One day at a time, sun gon' shine.
Everybody looking at you crazy. What you gonna do? Lift up your head and keep moving. Or let the paranoia haunt you. Peace to fashion police, I wear my heart on my sleeve, let the runway start. You know the miserable do love company. What do you want from me and my scars? Everybody lack confident, everybody lack confident. How many times my potential was anonymous? How many times the city making me promises? So I promise this, I love myself.
The world is a ghetto with big guns and dick inside.
I love myself,
But they can do what they want whenever they want, I don't mind.
I love myself,
He said I gotta get up, life is more than suicide.
I love myself.
One day at a time, sun gon' shine.
They wanna say it's a war outside, and a bomb in the street, and a gun in the hood, and a mob of police, and a rock on the corner, and a line full of fiend, and a bottle full of lean, and a motto on a scheme, yep. These days of frustration keep y'all on tuck in rotation. I duck these cold faces, post up, feed 5-4 for bases. Dreams are reality's piece. Blow steam in the face of the beast. The sky can fall down, the wind can cry now. The strong in me, I still smile. I love myself.
The world is a ghetto with big guns and dick inside.
I love myself.
But they can do what they want whenever they want, I don't mind.
I love myself.
He said I gotta get up, life is more than suicide.
I love myself.
One day at a time, sun gon' shine.
Walk my bare feet, walk my bare feet. Down, down, valley beat. Down, down, valley
I
beat.
love myself.
5-4 from big 5-4.
I love myself.
My heart.
Wicked or weakness, you gotta see this. Yeah, yeah. Hey, I remember syrup sandwiches and crime allowances. Finesse a nigga with some counterfeits, but now I'm counting this. Parmesan where my accountant lives, in fact I'm down in this. You say with my boo babe, tastes like Kool-Aid for the analyst. Girl, I can buy your Westie world with my base stuff. Ooh, that pussy good, once you sit it on my taste buds. I get way too petty once you let me do the extras. Pull up on your block, then break it down, we playing Tetris. AM to the PM, PM to the AM phone. Piss out your per diem, you just gotta hate them funk. If I quit your BM, I still rock Mercedes funk. If I quit this season, I still be the greatest funk. My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke, put a baby in a spiral. Soprano C, we like to keep it on the high note. It's levels to it, you and I know. Bitch, be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Bitch, sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Bitch, sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Who that nigga thinking that he frontin' on that man? Get the fuck off my stage, I'm the same man. Get the fuck off my dick, that ain't right. I make a play, fucking up your whole life. I'm so fucking sick and tired of the Photoshop. Show me something natural like Afro on Richard Pryor. Show me something natural like ass with some stretch marks. Still'll take you down right on your mama couch in polo sock. Ayy, this shit way too crazy. Ayy, you do not amaze me. Ayy, I blew you from AC. Ayy, I don't fabricate it. Ayy, got me faking. Ayy, I stay modest about it. Ayy, I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. Cocaine quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I got hustle, though ambition, flow inside my DNA. I was born like this and sworn like this, immaculate conception. I transform like this, perform like this, wish out you a new weapon. I don't contemplate, I meditate, then off your fucking head. This that put the kids to bed. This that I got realness. I just kill shit cause it's in my DNA. I got millions, I got riches building in my DNA. I got dark, I got evil that rot inside my DNA. I got off, I got trouble, some heart inside my DNA. DNA. I just win again, then win again like Wimbledon I serve. Yeah, that's him again. The sound the engine in is like a bird. You see fireworks and Corvette tires skirt the boulevard. I know how you work, I know just who you are. See, use a bitch, your hormones probably switch inside your DNA. Problem is, all that
This is a journey into sound.
Daddy body snitch, heritage inside your DNA.
This is a journey into sound. A journey which along the way will bring to you new color, new dimension, new value.
When all is ready, I throw this switch. Pump up the volume, pump up the volume. Pump that bass.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you a special news bulletin from our on-the-spot passport.
Oh my gosh, the music just turns me on.
Thinking of a master plan. Death with the record, death with the record. Thinking of a master plan.
بتاع الحشيش انا عايز حشيشة طرية استنى يا بريل ده الواجب ده عليا الحشيشة اللي في جيبه غير الحشيشة اللي في ايديا دي الحشيشة اللي بجيبه غير الحشيشة اللي في ايديا ونستبح انا وانت ونولع الدنيا ونشرب الصفة حلوة ونسميها كايروفورنيا
Sitting in the Cali sun, heated up, indoor needled up, rockin' style, John cheetled up. I put the beer in garden. People what? People looking at me sideways, like I'm on the birds, like I'm on the birds. Eyes blazed, I don't say the word. You don't wanna follow me, son. You ain't got the nerve. You just wanna swerve with the little herb. Absurd, got you paranoid in the paragraph. When I paraphrase, got a pair of Jordans dancing on your fucking face. Paralyzed, see the paranormal, paratruth, summoned by the grandmaster as he prepares to loose. Temple doors open up, smoke billows out. Now you're hoping what for mercy, get your soul billowed out from another hood. You ain't really fucking with the brotherhood. Even if another could, I wish a motherfucker would. Clip it up or sip it up. Listen, I prefer to trip it up. Damn, skip it, y'all bitter fucks. I could take a bigger chunk. And if I'm calling dog fingers up, don't make a move, they like triggers up. Mugs cut them up, chicka chicka one,
condensation when I hear thunder. My mind is jaded by the chill. Thoughts are taking all my will. I want to move forward beside no guide. Take a hold on to that risky way. Your thoughts are in disguise. Don't you feel there is more to this life? Don't you feel there is more? Speak the truth, even if your voice quivers. Speak the truth, even if your choice differs. Speak the truth. Deliver from your inner with a grin of a winner. Speak the truth, even if your voice shivers. Speak the truth, even if your choice differs. Speak the truth. Deliver from your inner with a grin of a winner. Time's passed, look at what you've earned. You've been a little burned, you say. The conversation turned. I cry louder, sharks stream right through my body, triggering memories. Words rolling right off my tongue. Hey. My skin's thicker, see, I feel tougher to talk. I feel a little invisible, soon with the moon out. With the moon out, with the moon out. Whoa. Yeah. Speak the truth, even if your voice quivers. Speak the truth, even if your choice differs. Speak the truth. Deliver from your inner with a grin of a winner. Speak the truth, even if your voice shivers. Speak the truth, even if your choice differs. Speak the truth. Deliver from your inner with a grin of a winner. Fury for the melody.
Happy holidays, everybody. Today we're going to do some pet-friendly spin on holiday classics. This is a cat-friendly take on
there's more to this life, don't leave.
All right, listen. Mini Ice Age Conversations is coming up. Do you guys want to listen to it for an hour? I'll hook it up for an hour, but I can't stay past that, though. But everybody's here, so if you guys want to stay here and chill and listen to Mini Ice Age, I'll throw it down for an hour.
Oh, child, falling down from grace. You got the power.
Let me know in the chat if you guys want to stick around for Mini Ice Age for an hour.
See you around.
Ice Age Conversations podcast. It's about observing cycles, sharing insights, and solving problems together by combining historical, climate, food, and economic data so you can make informed decisions as we shift into a new era. Here's what was, this is what's coming. Our world is never going back to 2019, so what will the new era look like? And most importantly, what is immediate that will affect the pocketbook and the outlook into next year so we can all get ready? Thank you for joining. I'm your host, David Dubine. Right along here with Ransom Godwin taking us through the next 2 hours. What type of changes do you see around us? Like I said, it's not going back to 2019. You might even be happy if it's 2022 and it doesn't progress any further than that. As we look around, the ending of another show overlaying here. Finish up, I guess.
Thank you for listening to Revolution Radio.
All right, that wasn't our program. We're still live. It's all good.
Twilight Zone. It's the Twilight Zone.
And Ransom, it seems like we're getting some advertisements overplaying. Are you hearing that too?
In the paranormal?
Yeah.
Murder mystery. Real natural law.
Well, we should let the soft voices of some other ads blend in to the intro.
Every Monday night. 6
I can't get my voice to go that
Standard
high,
Time.
even if I do
Right
karaoke.
here on Revolution Radio. Studio A, freedomslips.com. Crypt Rick's High Thinking. Welcome to the crypt.
Well, I was going to say welcome back, but I guess the ads or whatever's going to keep rolling. I guess we're going to go with it here.
It is no secret that the so-called mainstream media is best described as controlled propaganda. Countless news stories are either totally ignored or spun with half-truths, and because of this, essential facts and vital information are often compromised. Join Dr. Ott every Friday night on Studio B at 10 p.m. Eastern and learn why The Story Behind the Story was nominated for a Peabody Award in its second year of producing unparalleled broadcasting excellence in 1997. That is, if you really care about learning the truth.
I think everybody here cares about learning the truth for tonight.
The Secret Kindergarten is here for the young children
we
of the
don't have
world.
a secret kindergarten.
The best program on the radio for kids, dealing with the most important topics in the whole universe. Fairy tales, music and movement, numbers, plants, animals, fun, colors, insects. Take care.
Ounces
Cast
of gold.
your ears out
We have our own
to catch
secret
a story from the world of other young things. Reach out, up, under, and over. Sing a song. Talk about feelings. Just remember the magic word. The magic word is no. Step on into the Secret Kindergarten. Saturdays, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on Revolution Radio.
Hey, folks, we're trying to go live.
We're an anarcho-syndicalist commune. We take it in turns to act as a sort of executive officer for the week. But all the decisions of that officer have to be ratified at a special bi-weekly meeting. Yes, I see. By a simple majority in the case of purely internal affairs. Be quiet. But by a two-thirds majority in the case of more major. I order you to be quiet. Look, you stupid bastard, you've got no arms left. Yes, I have. Look, it's just a flesh wound.
I don't believe I've seen such a display of courage, skill, nerve, grace, and stupidity.
I'll do you for that. Oh, what? Come here. What are you going to do? Bleed on me? I'm invincible. You're a loony. The Black Knight always triumphs.
Roundtable Live Monday through Friday, 1 a.m. till 4 a.m. Eastern Time. Bring your mind, bring your ideas, bring your voice. King Arthur had nothing on us here at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. All right, thanks for listening while we took that short break here at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. And now we're going to get back to your host.
Yay, and thank you for everybody sticking with us. That usually goes over the break, not into the show. So away we go.
Man.
I sound like I'm rhyming like Mr. Seuss. But I'm your host, David Dubine, right here with Ransom Godwin tonight, taking you through the next couple of hours. Like, what our world was supposed to be. There's a lot of things I'm noticing now that are not manifesting the way they were supposed to be in terms of taking us down this route into the Agenda 2030 assured goals. So I really think there's hope that we can break free from all of this, I'm going to say, psychological conditioning to get you to believe that these people have so much power that their end goals are inevitable. Resistance is futile. Except, you know what? I'm watching wind project after wind project collapse, have funding pulled. Also, the EVs are down. That's electric vehicles. I was working on that for a story tonight. Volkswagen had 50 reduction in the orders for the electric vehicles. And this seems to be across the board for Toyota and anybody else that's manufacturing electric vehicles. So this whole transit toward it, you know, you see the fires, everybody's terrified of their garages catching on fire with this thing. Barely a station to be found where you can recharge. And if you do, you got to wait 6-10 hours in line. That's a great one. I love being on the road with the wife and 2 kids and getting stuck for 3 hours having to charge outside of the additional 8 hours the kids are in the car driving to grandpa and grandma's place. That's always extra fun. Add an extra 3 hours of 2 kids cooped up in the back seat. Awesome. You know, these are the fun things you get with an electric vehicle. But you can see all this crumbling right now. So not enough minerals, not enough rare earth minerals, not enough copper. You know, they have to mine as much copper as been mined in the last 2,000 years in the next 10 years to make all of these green dreams come true. So I'm so thankful that there is finally a break that we can visibly see into this agenda, and I really believe that was a rock thrown through the glass window or window storefront of fake mannequins behind it. This gives me such hope that these wind projects are being pulled because they're non-profitable, and even the wind energy market across Europe has cratered to the point where they're suspending new investments into wind projects and canceling other offshore wind projects, and the electric vehicles are no longer being ordered. I see hope at the end of the tunnel, Ransom. Thank you for joining me tonight. Lots to talk about in terms of, I don't know, we're going to try to stay away from the Middle East for now because you can get that information being forced down your throat, this war propaganda forced down like a feeding tube. So anyway, we're going to talk about something different, more fun, a little bit different, and still try to direct your eyes and ears to where the world still's moving, but you're not being shown because everything's focused over in the Middle East. So, Ransom, thanks for joining again.
I was rolling at the beginning, man. I joined, and then the ad started coming on. It was pretty funny, really. it's kind of hard to get away from the Middle East, ain't it, though? But I'll try to do that, even though, it's kind of obvious everything intersects with that. And you can just skip after. Let's just skip after they let the, conflicts around the world, so to speak, run their courses. Then what? Right?
Less oil.
Right. There's going to be less everything, and they know that. That is kind of the end goal, actually. I mean, among lots of other programs going on, the main end goal is to reduce us. So I don't want to be reduced. So I was thinking, we could talk about how wintry it's going to be this winter. I mean, everybody got a taste of it very early, of the global warming goodness right away, right? So I was out there all
so
day.
Good, so good.
Right. I was getting my tropical plants, away from the global warming goodness that killed all the vines and tomatoes and everything. I'm lucky that I actually grew a tomato forest, because so many tomato plants died. They kind of made a little barrier over the smaller plants, and all of those survived because they kind of had a blanket of dead plants that covered them up. I even found a watermelon plant that somehow survived in the grass, from it wasn't freezing here, but it was like a degree off or something like that. And it was a pretty interesting thing, because think about it. Everybody was in their fall warm days, and then snap. Talk about a cold snap, and talk about a cold front, right? Because it blew down here, and I live probably 5 miles from the cliff of the mountains, where we go from 4,995 feet up to maximum of 12,000 feet at Sierra Blanca. But right where I'm at, it's like 11,000 something, and only 3 miles difference. So you could drive 3 miles on the road, and you're already gaining elevation up. And it was 34 degrees, just, 8 miles away from where it was 72 degrees. It's a good thing we don't live in a tornado prone area, and there was not really much moisture up. But think about that difference. So if you are on one side of the line, you probably still have a little bit or some crops left. But if you're on the other side of the line, that stuff's gone. That stuff froze. And that was deep into Texas. Did you see the nice little stretch of global warming that happened there? So how do you think the rest of the winter is going to roll out here? I was about to look up the classic Farmer's Almanac prediction for the year. But I have a feeling we're going to get a chilly, a bunch of these cold snaps, so to speak, this year. And it'd be smart if people, didn't prep for World War III, but just think about something a little closer to home. What if the power just goes out? What if there's a lot of snow? What if there's a real winter coming? I mean, do you have enough supplies to deal with that? Because, unfortunately, I've been noticing a trend that's part of the overall, obviously, plan, but that's more and more homeless people, and more people trying to live in their cars, and more people trying to just live outside because they can't afford things like rent, insurance, and all the burdens of life that pile up on the average American consumer. So they've resorted to trying to live outside, and the term off grid is, I'm going to say big time being misused by people saying they live off grid. They don't live off grid. They've made themselves homeless and susceptible to the environment, which I have a feeling they're going to find out this year. So a lot of people that are living outside that thought it was real cool, and they thought, last winter wasn't that bad. They might not like the way this winter is going to go.
Yeah, just a quick, I'll add on to your update here. I'm out in southeast Tennessee, right at the border of Georgia and North Carolina. Now, last night in Asheville, which is less than 100 miles from here, it was 22 degrees Fahrenheit. And that is like a record smasher there. And there were hundreds and hundreds of cold records broken along the East Coast. Now, Macon, Georgia, damn, you're talking south in the United States here. Got down to 26 degrees Fahrenheit last night. And Macon's a good 2 hours south of here driving. And I lost all my tobacco plants. I lost all my Moringa oleifera. Now, we knew this cold front was coming, so we'd cut back almost everything because it's time to change the garden anyway. So those of you out there, if you're still lucky enough to have tomato plants straggling, which we did, I'm not sure if the flowers that were on there would just fall off and the tomato plants will continue to grow. And it's supposed to be warm for the next 3 to 4 weeks. So what's going to happen with that? We were in the replanting phase anyway, moving over to like kohlrabis and the spinach and the kales and the mustard greens. These kind of really deep green, what else? Brussels sprouts and cabbage. This is what we were replanting our garden with right now anyway, and a bunch of different types of lettuces. And we were rolling the garden over. So for us to pull it in, I couldn't believe how much produce we got. We planted, we took, a shipping crate, those kind of crates, and we had 6 little squares inside the crate once we knocked a few extra pieces out of it to give us some space. So inside there, we planted a total of 8 pepper plants, and we had different kind of pepper plants. We had the cheese peppers, the like sweet snacking peppers, and then the back 2 had cayenne peppers. We got so many that we filled, mixing bowls, like 5 mixing bowls full of peppers, and then that wasn't even the hot peppers that we grew in a different section of the garden, because sometimes they can cross over and you'll get if your hot peppers are too close to your sweet peppers, you might end up with something you didn't expect. But Ransom, I could not believe the amount of peppers we got. But the reason we grew them was for pests. We're going to do our own pest control with them. And we also got our dogs digging around a lot of places. So we wanted to do our own cayenne pepper powder and then have our own supply of, hot stuff to keep the dogs out of areas. So if you know where they're digging, you can put a bunch of cayenne pepper in there, and they will stop digging pretty immediately after that. But I was shocked on how much we got, and then we had to harvest everything out there. So we had our Malabar spinach, which we had to take all the leaves off. You couldn't eat that. We have literally mountains of green veg that we need to try to get through from all the celeries and what else did we have out there? The broccolinis and the rest of the okra that came in, and some squash that we needed to get off. We had some melons that needed to come in also. But it's just a huge, bountiful harvest, and we weren't expecting to get all that at the exact same time. So now what's our problem? Well, we got the dehydrator out because that's just going to go to waste if we don't get it dehydrated or stir-fried for us to eat. But that's way too much veg to eat, even if you love veg. So we're trying to figure this out. And this is a great thing about abundance in a harvest period. Another thing to think about is the food pricing with the oil rationing possibly coming in. We'll talk about that later. The first things to be rationed as they were in World War I and World War II, it's exactly the same. So I can't see why it'd be different now. Food is going to be one of those, depending if it's meat or fish or whatnot. So what if you have an abundance of product right now where, we go to the Amish farm and we got, 20 pounds of tomatoes for $14. Well, what do we do with all those tomatoes? The butternut squash also is like 30 pounds of butternut squash for $15. These are the kind of bargains you can get, and especially if you buy more and you say, hey, can I buy 5 boxes, they'll give you even a better discount. But once you have so much produce or veg or whatever it is, then see, this is the thing a lot of people aren't planning on or thinking about is we got a heap of stuff. Now, how do we preserve it? How do we get it into a different form so it doesn't go bad so we can still use it later? We can rehydrate it. We could grind it into a powder. We could can it. There's a lot of things. Well, what's on your list of being able to preserve the mass amounts of foods? Like, I'll tell you another thing I learned from last year and the year before. To preserve pumpkins, all you need is a bed of hay or straw, but they can't touch. Like, the skins cannot touch. You need about 1 inch of air gap between them. And as long as you put those pumpkins on either straw or hay, depending, you cut it yourself or you bought it from a store, don't care. You got to have probably 1 inch thick of something below it. Make sure it doesn't touch the sides of wherever you're keeping it in, like if you have it on racks out in your garage or whatnot. And those things will stay for 8 months. But you let them touch together, and a month in, it's already rotting on the sides. Same with any of the gourds, the butternut squash, any of these types of things, the secret is keeping them a little bit apart and on something dry. I'm sure you could probably use cardboard. But think about if there's food shortages or food rationing and you have all that abundance, and this is the cheapest time you're going to buy things. So we were getting the old heirloom corn, too. They call it Indian corn. A lot of people like to buy it for decoration because it's the pretty color, really beautiful, like starburst corns, deep purple corn, just very unusual. It's not the yellow or the white corn that you normally see. It's these unusual striations or just blasted colors inside the ears. But we bought that last year, and what we did is we picked our favorite colors of like the deep purple because it makes a really nice deep blue, like almost indigo corn chip. And we grew that. So, and we didn't let it cross-pollinate the best we could, and we had some amazing luck of pure 100% of the same color that we planted. So we can grind that. But you can also go buy it because the Indian corn right now, after it's finished, people are probably going to throw it away. I don't know many people that keep it. A lot of moths get into it if you try to keep it over the winter. So you're going to come into an abundance of this like specialty corn. It's great for grinding, by the way. So how many things do you know how to store? And it's really good practice. I'm glad this cold front came through for a lot of reasons. A, we needed to bump up our row cover skills. You know, you're going to learn more every time a thing happens. And we had this thing called toothache plant. It's a medicinal, and it actually is more like a toothache. And, you know, cutting all those flowers, and you end up with like 150, you know, small, they're really tight, like button flowers. Now what? Well, you know, they're great when they're green and they have the water in it and they chew and they really numb your mouth incredibly. But after they're dried now, we're trying to figure out different uses for these. So tincture it up, perhaps. So it's making me think way outside the box in terms of we only had 2x4s and some thicker wood because we're always building stuff. I didn't think about those little, you know, 1 1/4 or 1x1s to be able to put, to make a square to go all over the raised beds. So, you know, trying to bump up my skill also of protecting the plants. But anyway, you know, we got hit. It's going to be incredibly cold tonight. We had to build something, an emergency shelter for our ducks and geese. They were frozen in the morning. They were stiff when they were moving around. Turkeys were fine. Chickens were fine because they roosted up together and snuggled as a big pack of like 15 of them squeezed into a little thing. They kept warm together. But these are real issues. Like if your power goes out, it can go out for a bit, but in the middle of winter, what's going to happen to your house? Like, Ransom, maybe you can tell me a little bit better about this. Remember last year's super freeze in Texas where the power cut off? Like, I remember seeing some images of people's pipes busting in the houses. Like, how prevalent was that? Was it one house or was it 100 houses? Because we have PEX running through our walls here because when I bought this place, I remodeled a bit in here and we took there really wasn't any copper too much. There was like a couple areas that had copper, like real just 1 or 2 pipes. The rest of it was that old, plastic. And I was like, hell no. PEX is bad enough. But even if it freezes, it'll expand. So we got PEX running through the house. So I'm not too worried about a freeze between the walls. But for real, in the middle of winter, if your power goes out for 2 weeks, you better hope that it stays cold enough that you can repair those pipes before they start dripping water everywhere. But Ransom, I don't know. Tell me about that freeze. Like, what kind of damage was done to the homes down there during the deep freeze in Texas last year?
That was a bunch of houses that weren't built to go down to low temperatures and have the power off simultaneously. I mean, they were newer, buildings and houses that had no insulation around the water because it never drops for very long that far, into the cold areas. Like, I know, for example, in the town I live in, this wasn't the same instance, but a different cold snap that happened. It got really cold and it got down to close to 0 degrees in the valley here. And everywhere everybody's PVC pipe fittings busted, because that's what they use, because we live in a place where it very rarely drops down to be that cold. So everybody's, wells and connections to the faucets outside and all that stuff just busted. And I know Home Depot made lots of money, but that's what everybody was doing for like 2 weeks, is just fixing their water. I planned for that ahead, because we live in the, high desert. So traditionally, a long time ago, it got real cold here. And that's what they're actually expecting this year for New Mexico, is a colder than normal winter. But we do have variations of high elevation. And I saw that article that you sent with the deer all sitting in the yards. And that's actually really common around here, especially in the mountain areas, because it'll get cold in the forest and the sun doesn't shine in there. So the deer and elk and wild horses, at least where I live, will all come out and just sit in someone's yard, and they'll dig around in the snow and just eat all their nice green grass that's still alive. Plus the houses are warm and the concrete and all that stuff. The animals are smart. They just come in there and, try to use up the resources. I'm sure that freaks people out, but think about that. You get a good indication of how much meat is around you, for sure. Texas, though, what was funny about that is I took a trip to Colorado during that exact cold snap that happened in Texas, and they were saying that their wind powered generators froze and broke, and I drove through New Mexico where it was cold. It was extremely cold, and the generators that are on the way to where I was going were working just fine, which means that there was some shenanigans going on. And plus, they knew that it was going to go out too. And I'm not saying it was on purpose, but when they, let's see how to put this, they limited on purpose the amount of energy that Texas could use right when they needed it. So that was I'm going to say that was a man-made catastrophe. And the end result was, Home Depot and Lowe's and all those other stores made a lot of money off of that out of nowhere. But think about that, is all of those people were caught off guard. Now think of, forget the water for a minute. They didn't have electricity, so all their food went bad and stuff. So they got a taste of what people in northern areas have to deal with more often. But even in the northern areas, they don't build things the way that they used to, and all of the older type buildings and apartment complexes that used to have the furnace, and you'd have the furnace and you'd turn on the hot water from the radiator, steam, to warm your rooms and stuff. They don't have that. I mean, everything's electric, cheapy Chinese. It breaks. And I'm not blaming the Chinese specifically. I just mean that it's that throwaway type of appliances, I guess you could call it, like heaters and all that stuff. They only last a year or two and they break. They don't even sell those old ones. I guess they were too dangerous. You remember the little box ones that had the super red glowing bands of metal that would heat you up? I don't even think you can find that type of stuff.
My grandparents had one of those.
Yeah, I don't even think you can find that now, right? But all of the stuff is weirdly like I know this sounds silly, but yesterday I wanted to use my oven, and we got a new oven because the other one broke, and this is one of those smart ovens. And I still have the old one because it just needed a computer panel or something like that. But the new one, I couldn't even figure out how to set the timer. And there's a little logo on it that says I could connect it to the phone because, I guess I'm one of those old people that doesn't understand things now. And I'm not even that old. I couldn't figure it out, man. I just timed it, with the clock in my eyeballs instead of worrying about it. But what's weird about all that stuff is it's interconnected and it's spying on you. So our refrigerator talks to our microwave that talks to our stove. It's really bizarre. Now I still have the old stuff because, it's old and you can't do nothing to it remotely as far as I know. But all that stuff can just conveniently go out along with the power or malfunction because it's not getting the right juice. And I noticed where I live, I have a lot of brownouts. So you go to the store and you get all of these new LED bulbs that promise you 5 or 7 years. We're going through those things faster than the old ones because they can't take an electric shock. The old ones could handle that, but they couldn't handle a kinetic. If you knocked it, it would bust. But these LED ones, I mean, we're replacing them all the time, and it's a big scam. And it seems like that just ties into the overall green movement of things that just don't work. We know that the electric wind generators, they don't work. They're toxic. They break. They bury them. It's all a scam. And then on top of that, last week I showed the article about the auto manufacturers admitting that they're going to be pulling back on EV productions because it just doesn't work. They're unreliable. They're too expensive. They're only making them because of mandates of how they want to change how human beings live. And the idea is not for you to have your own private, green, efficient car that takes you where you want to go. The idea is for you to get on your feet, Fred and Barney, and walk to where they have things, metropolitan disease across every area of where somebody lives. So they'll have everything there where you go to see the clinic. It's an urgent care place where you don't really see a doctor. They'll have all of the boxed food restaurants and fast food chains, and they'll have you a Walmart and like a Dollar General or something like that. And you need to just ride a bike, ride the bus, or walk. They don't want you actually traveling around everywhere. Think about this. I mean, why would they want you to be able to get in your car and travel to somewhere else where the weather stayed good and go buy a bunch of produce that's still fresh, or have a trade system that's outside of their control, where you trade the goods and the produce and the meats that are in season when they're in season. And they don't want you to eat like that because that's how royals eat. If you there's a couple of interviews out there with Charles and his mother, different ones, I've seen them, where they talk about their diet, where they never eat vegetables that are out of season. They don't eat the common stuff for that, the poor people, peasants eat, like garlics and onions, because those are grass. And, they try to use and it's funny because, a lot of people think they're vampiric or lizard people or all kinds of weird theories out there about them. But they don't like garlic and onions. They don't eat that. That's common man food. And if it's fruits and vegetables, they only eat it in season. And on top of that, they have their own gardeners grow organic food just for them so they can eat it fresh. But they don't want you to live that way. You need that prepackaged, nanobot, plastic, contaminated, who knows where it came from stuff. The food-like stuffs, they're at the stores. And we can't even get too specific because the robot man, the evil algorithm guy that tells on you will get us in trouble for just, explaining things in a normal way.
Do you think an EMP would fry the nanobots? Do you think an EMP would disable nanobots because it would, as every other thing, that would stop electrically? Do you think the nanobots would be affected by the EMP if there were to be one, either from the sun or from something higher up, man-made discharged nuclear weapon 300 miles up or so?
Well, that all depends on how contaminated or saturated. There's a whole science behind saturation, right? And law enforcement uses that when they pull over people because it's how the dog finds things, and they can even tell how long ago it was going on by the way the dog reacts because they're trained so good. And it's the science of saturation. So if, let's say, if there was some way that they infected the entire world with nanobots, even an EMP couldn't get it because there would be nanobots and crevices and cracks that protected it. There would be nanobots under metal, for all the same reasons that people could save their own equipment, and not everything would actually, be broken. Some things would be protected. And let's not forget, I don't think they care what you're doing out here. If some kind of event like a solar event or an actual EMP that was human made or even extraterrestrial made, let's just go there, knocked out all of our infrastructure that's electronic. The continuity of government, people are hiding within these caves and different facilities underground, under the ocean, and et cetera, maybe even off world. I mean, if you want to stretch what they could be doing with the billions and billions and billions of dollars that disappear into black budget projects that the taxpayer never gets to see what happened with. it's very possible that they don't care. Matter of fact, it's likely that they don't care what's going on topside while they're doing that, because they have what's that continuity that they're talking about. They have all the food, they have all the research, scientists, equipment, et cetera, et cetera. And if we're talking about what we would do, obviously, if an EMP, they have giant think tanks of some of the smartest people in the world that get unlimited budgets to build things to protect them against that. So I always thought it was a joke to think that the powers that be are going to be not part of the aftermath of anything. Of course they will be. And if it's so big that even they can't deal with it, then, we're back to, I don't know, sometime way back before the Neolithic times, when there was just a few people walking around the surface of the earth about to start a new civilization.
Yeah, perhaps we could just rent a parking space as our home, and that's the big rage right now. By the way, you might be protected from some elements or some cosmic radiation being under that much concrete deep down into the parking garage. This is, I was trying to dovetail it to what are your thoughts further on about, trying to live in the elements and everything. It's incredibly difficult. Because we were thinking last night, we were just doing a mind experiment. What happened if there was an emergency? We had to leave our house and it was 27 degrees in the middle of the evening. Like, let's say 2 a.m., a landslide came down or something, right? How difficult that would be if you were just semi-clothed, like you got bounced out of bed. Like, how quickly could you rig something up to keep yourselves warm or start a fire or do something at that critical juncture? To have a fire that might give away your position. So how else are you going to stay warm other than having a fire? I was hanging out with Wild John over in the UK, and he's like, yeah, you got to bury yourself with a bunch of weeds and leaves and stuff, and your body heat will warm that little pocket while you're in there. But people, this is the true thing here. I was actually talked about this last week in a video I did. The new big rage is those that are homeless or those that only have a car will go and rent a parking space now, and they have security going around the place. So it's much safer for those that are living in their cars. So they all come together in terms of safety, and there's also guards that wander the place in the parking garages, and you rent out your specific stall. And then they've installed bathrooms / toothbrush. I don't know what it is some sort of areas where you can use the bathroom while you stay in the parking garage in your car. This is the new thing where they're upgrading and renovating larger bathroom spaces in the parking garages for people to come in and live in their car overnight, or on a longer term contract from 7 days to a month, you can rent a space. And people actually live there in their cars full time. And even if you have the luxury to have the petrol and then leave and then come back, it's still your assigned space, so nobody will pull in there. And, just the whole metrics of that thing is kind of scary for me to think about, and just unnerving on our economies collapsing to the point where, as tent cities were set up, or I forget the name, not Bougainvilles, Hoovervilles, in the Great Depression, where people would come together for safety and live in certain areas before they would move on. And now we're experiencing something very similar to the Great Depression, where people are now living in their cars with guarded areas in terms of safety, but they could go and have an escape vehicle at any time. The parallels are really startling looking back at the Great Depression. If there was not they keep mincing words here and saying, well, it's a recession, it's deflation, it's inflation. If you went by the metrics, except for the giant crash, we're very close to mimicking a Great Depression. Now, if the oil were to be cut off from the Middle East, which again, you can't hardly talk about anything without circling back to it, it would definitely disrupt things. So I had a great talk with Andy Schechtman yesterday. He and I talked for about an hour, and we did an interview, and he's the CEO of Miles Franklin. And he's the first guy I really heard talk about de-dollarization and the BRICS nations and how they were assembling at the center point of the Shanghai Gold Exchange and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which is similar to some of the pacts and treaties that the Western nations have for mutual agreements amongst nations. They'd set out their own many a year ago with Kazakhstan, Russia, Iran, all these nations together as their own defense pact and also economic pact. That's the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. But the base of it, the bedrock and the cornerstone, is the Shanghai Gold Exchange. And they are the ones that are offering about $100 more per ounce to try to siphon a lot of gold into China. Because the more gold they have, the more you're going to believe that their money's worth something if they back their money by gold. The old way that we did in the Depression before it was confiscated. And he started talking about the stock prices, and I was asking him after that about if oil went to $250 or $200, an enormous amount of people would get blown out on their trade of the derivatives. And he was like, oh, absolutely. That would cascade into make the 1929 crash look like a 1-point dip. And then he starts talking about quadrillions of dollars in just derivatives on the oil markets. And a lot of people are hedging. And that's what normally companies do. And he was trying to explain the whole mechanism of hedging as a company, because them as a gold and silver broker, they could not be in business as a cash-only, cash and carry kind of business. Because when they buy their gold round or their 1 ounce gold round or 1 ounce silver rounds, whatever, 10-ounce bars, they're locked in at a market price. Now, if that market price goes down, they're not going to be able to sell their product without losing money. But they have to continually sell product in order to generate revenue. And he was saying, they're hedging also at all times to make sure that they can protect themselves. And he's like, we go short, we go long, we do it both. We try to cover each direction and we follow it literally. We'll be putting stops in and up, down, moving every 5 minutes in the day. They have an algorithm that does this for them, that adjusts the pricing. But he's like, if there was a significant event in the Middle East that took off the Mideast oil, there's a lot of people that don't have the money to pay for these algorithms that would be set out because the price would jump so fast, but they're positioned to go short to cover in case the price of oil drops, that they're still going to make money or break even on it. That if the price runs away from, say, $80 to $150 in a single day, he's like, you would not even believe how much money would be lost on people who couldn't get out fast enough. But the thing is, you need somebody to buy that contract on the way out also. So if there was a flood to market where, let's say there's 1,000 people that want to sell their short contracts, but there's only 800 buyers, then that means 200 people get stuck with riding the roller coaster on the way down, however much money that is lost, and everything's derivatized 1,000 to 1. And he was saying, even with our small inventory, we could, if we wanted to push the envelope, could derivatize $1 trillion off of our gold and silver in-house. I was like, you got to be kidding me. You only have a few $1 million of inventory. And he's like, yeah, we do. But if you want to roll it and derivatize it and take 1,000 to 1 and then get an insurance contract on that and then reinsure that and rebuy it 1,000 to 1, he's like, oh, we could easily roll up to $1 trillion in derivatives off our, several million of physical gold as the insurance policy on that, because it's physical gold. It's a tier 1 asset. And he was trying to explain all that. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, these guys do it all the time. It's nothing for them because they've never been burned yet to the point of prices rising so fast that they've lost control. Because currently, up to this point, all control has been maintained. But this war situation is completely unmaintainable. So if oil blows out, you're going to watch something that is truly unthinkable happen to the monetary system around the world. And again, it comes back to the reset. But here at home, we would just be crushed. So think about yourself in the middle of winter. You have your car, but no petrol. And it gets down to 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Ransom hit it on the head there. I mean, these temperatures are not meant for some homes or cars to endure when it gets incredibly cold for extended periods of time. And I really believe that this winter, like, you know, and Ransom, he knows Diamond over at the Oppenheimer Ranch Project as well. You know, me and Diamond have been calling grand solar minimum cool downs. And now the space agencies are reducing their solar cycle 25 forecast, ending this solar cycle 3 years early. That's insane. So the average, to put it into perspective, the average is an 11.2 year solar cycle. This one is going to be down around 8 years. And it's going to drop off a cliff, solar activity. So expect cooler temperatures, colder than normal winter. And I've been reading a lot of reports for those who think that we might be heading into a deeper, faster cooling that won't rebound as we head into this continuous step off into the ice age. Now, don't mince my words here that I'm saying we're going into an ice age. That's not it. The step down is progressively cooler that never recovers to warmer temperatures over time. So as this next step off, which is possible this winter beginning, takes us into a lower range of temperature, which becomes the new normal. And then successively, the next new normal is cooler than this present period and cooler than the next cooler period. And it continues to progress down in terms of steps of coolness until you reach the ice age. So there's a huge amount of scientists, peer-reviewed, those who study that are not allowed to be seen in media or social media that have been, you know, taken away from the public arena of speech, that are talking about we are super poised for jumping down a step in cool. And once that happens, then everywhere you grow food will have to be rethought. So Ransom, I'll send it back to you because I know I tried to unload there a whole bunch in a couple minutes.
Right. No, you know, the whole time I was thinking that, so I've already experienced extreme cold on purpose just to see how good my equipment worked. So I've gathered enough for my just about entire family to have some Gore-Tex. And then if you, depending on what you wear under it, you can either find the nice fleece. I think it's fleece. It might be polyester or something like that. I'm not sure what it's made out of, but the military standard that goes under it to keep you warm. I went out in what they were calling Snowmageddon, like in, I think it was 2014 or whatever it was, when the nor'easter blew in there and covered the whole DC all the way up to Maine in like feet of snow. And I went outside playing in my Gore-Tex. I got hot. I was, you know, actually the wrist seemed to be getting too hot and sweating inside of your gear. But if you just chill out and you take your time and you have waterproof Gore-Tex boots and Gore-Tex pants and a Gore-Tex jacket and some kind of warm gloves, it's not as bad. I mean, it's not like we're living in the Stone Age. We do have technology. And if you plan and prep right, you can definitely hang out outside. Now, a lot of people don't know that, and they buy all this junk off of, in my opinion, it's junk. I don't want to get sued or nothing, but people that buy all this survival gear from like the companies that are more for fashion, like these skiing jackets, et cetera, and they're pretty warm, but you know, you're paying high dollar in those cases too. What's cheaper than that is go to your local thrift store. If you live next to a military base, it doesn't matter if it's Army, Marine Corps, Navy, or Air Force. They all have Gore-Tex outfits. And for some reason, people that enlist don't really hold on to those things when they should. But these things are awesome. I have several pairs. I have Woodland, I have Air Force, I have Marine Corps, I have Army, and all of them make you waterproof, which that is your enemy. The water is what kills you. The sub-zero temperatures and stuff, you're not even going to have that inside of your little tent. It's like a personal tent. And now on top of that, of course, eventually you're going to have to get out of that and you will lose body heat over time. But, you know, if you have some way of hiding your heat and warming up, it's even better. And just remember, all you have to do is actually heat something where you can warm your feet and your hands. You don't need to get, your whole body warmed up like people think. Just feet and hands. That's all your blood goes through there, and it'll warm your whole body within minutes. Matter of fact, when they pull people out of frozen rivers, the paramedics have a little device that they put their hand in there, and it warms the blood pretty rapidly. And matter of fact, that is something you could probably buy on Amazon right now, and for yourself. And you think about it, it would totally reverses hypothermic conditions. And if you have food and you're warm, you're good. Everybody else is going to be tripping about what's going on. And I hate to say this, but there's like a short list that you should get and then do all of these other bigger preps. Number one would be you need to be warm. You need to have water. I mean, warm, water, guns. Those are the first three. And then food you can stockpile. Like every time I go shopping, like I said last week when we were talking, you should get a little bit of prep then, even if it's, just a little bit. You start putting it into your stash pile. Now, keep in mind, like you said, there may come a time when the lights go out and things become very unstable and you don't have the opportunity to bunker down in your own house. And that is why I have a separate go bag for my car. I have a separate go bag for different scenarios, like if there's a forest fire or something. That's one bag. I want to be able to grab bags. So it's not, unreasonable for you to prep in a way that you go ahead and think about any scenario. So what if there's a forest fire? What if it's so cold that everything goes out? What are you going to do?
What if it's so cold and the power goes out? What are you going to do? What will you do? I don't know, man. There they go. Mini Ice Age conversations. You can find them over there on Independent Broadcast Network. Finishing out the rest of their 2 hours over there. So it's the top of the hour. And it's time for me to exit stage left. And I mean immediately.
See if you can knock this off my shoulder. I dare you.
See you tomorrow night.
Come over here, girl. Whip it out and show the world. Ain't the time for lying with your mocha swirl. Everybody gangsta, everybody blood and crippin'. I'ma tell the truth if you take the time to listen. But then again, let's make it hot, guy. Let's make it nice, what? And leave a scar now. I said merrily, merrily, merrily. Not one, but rarely, rarely, rarely. Get to it.
When the lights go out, when the lights go out, when they cut your phone, when they cut your phone, when you lay it off, when you lay it off, when you're home alone, when you're home alone, when you're with your girl, when you're with your girl, everyone around the world, on a Sunday afternoon, when you're with your crew,
it happens. Kinda hot together, like Sonny and Cher. Too hot to trot and we just don't care. Now close your eyes and go to sleep. That guy don't dance, tramps can't compete. You a New York dime in the city of sense. Regrets I had a few but not the night we met. So you be getting love from postal workers, all in search of vicious looks from.
When the lights go out, when the lights go out, when they cut your phone, when they cut your phone, when you lay it off, when you lay it off, when you're home alone, when you're home alone, when you're with your girl, when you're with your girl, everyone around the world, on a Sunday afternoon, when you're with your crew,
it happens. It's too hot for you, it's too hot for me, yeah, it's too hot for you, it's too hot for me, it's too hot for you, it's too hot for me, yeah, it's too hot for you, it's too hot for me, it's too hot for you, it's too hot for me, it's too hot for you, it's too hot for me, it's too hot for you, it's too hot for me, it's too hot for you, it's too hot for me.
almost like that.